Right, because I just interviewed Freeway Ricky, and something very interesting came up in our conversation. He said, I believe it was in St. Louis. He was doing a radio show, and there was a guy there with him, and he was talking about the murder rate in St. Louis. And he said that when he researched all the people that got killed that year, none of them had a high school diploma.
Huh.
Which is not going to be 100% across the board, obviously. But in that particular city, in that particular year, everyone who was killed did not graduate from high school. And Freeway started thinking about the correlation between your level of education and your ability to talk your way out of a bad situation that might get you killed. That the smarter you are, the more chance you have of survival. The guy was saying how everyone who got killed that year in St. Louis didn't have a high school diploma.
Yep.
So there's a correlation between not being smart and getting killed.
Yep.
Talk about that.
Well, we were doing the interview. The guy was inside the studio with us when he said that. And he was basically saying that all the people that year had gotten killed, none had a high school diploma. And what that told me was that people didn't use their minds well enough to stop somebody from killing them. You know, they couldn't talk themselves out of the killing, or they didn't handle it the right way that it should have been handled. But for some reason, they got themselves killed. And it was a correlation with not having education that did that.
Well, I think that comes down to common sense, not book sense, because I don't have a high school diploma either, but I saw people getting killed. I'm an odds man, so I see people getting killed doing certain things. So I know, well, perhaps I shouldn't do that, because people frequently get killed when they do that type of stuff. You see, some of this shit is just common sense. Like, I realized early on that if you go around injecting yourself into other folks' business, you're going to find yourself in a bad situation. If you're the type of person, you're a bully, sooner or later, the bully going to get bullied. If people who go to the club, before they went to the club and they had a chip on their shoulder, because there are people that go out with their boys, and they're tough. They go out and in their minds, they're going to kick some ass. Anybody get out of line, we're going to whoop some ass. I don't know why they thinking about whooping people and fighting and stuff instead of like trying to snatch up a girl. But there are dudes that go out there with that mentality, like, if somebody get out of line, we're going to click on them, we're going to whoop them. But they don't think about what the other person might do. They only think about what they're going to do. If they thought about what the other person would possibly do to them, before they went out, they'd say something along these lines. All right, look here, Lil Ray. We finna go out to the club, man. You know, we're going to be our usual selves. You know, we're going to do a little drinking or whatever. Anybody get out of line, we're going to ride on there. We're going to whoop them up. You know, we're going to handle our business. And tonight I'm going to get killed, though. This time I'm going to get killed. So what I want you to do is I want you to have my Nike collection. You can have all my Jordans. Let your sister have the car because she got to go to school. You know, I don't want her catching the bus. Tell mom I got some money in the attic, and tell everybody I love them, man. And you know, I'm gonna make one stop before I go out there because I got to go over here to my girl house, and I'm gonna kiss my baby and kiss my woman and let them know I love them, and then I'm gonna go over here and get killed. Oh, and I'll bury this the suit I want you to bury me in. Man, to tell them don't be putting too much makeup on me and shit, man, because you know I don't like all that, man. You know, tell that mortuary man, you let them know, man. You know, like you would really plan it all the way out, but they don't plan on what other people could possibly do to them. They only think about what they're gonna do to somebody else. So early on, I was cognizant of what the other person might do. Like I never underestimate people. I don't give a damn about size. I wrote size ain't shit for Bushwick Bill. All right? So I don't care about size. Likewise, there are other people who don't care about size. And if you look at death row, I remember a few years ago, I looked at the people that were on death row, and most of those guys were under 6 feet tall and 160 pounds soaking wet. Little cats squeezing that trigger. So there are guys that because they got some size on them, they're quick to fight, quick to swing on somebody. Oh, little old nigga, I'll whoop your ass. I've heard people say that in the club. Oh, little old nigga, man, this little nigga. Boom! Rap, bro. It's a rap. So I never underestimate people based on size. Even when I'm dealing with my nieces and nephews, most of my nieces and nephews are grown now, but when they were little, my sister used to call me, my sisters, they would call me to come physically discipline them when they would get out of line. And I'd be like, hey, don't call me for that shit, because I'm not going to be the whoop-ass uncle. That ain't me. Now, if you want me to come talk to them, I'll come talk to them. But I'm not going to be putting my hands on these kids, and I don't want them to think of me. I don't want them to be fearing me when they think of me, I don't want them to be in fear. So I'll come talk to them if they have an issue, they need some help with something. You can call me for that, but don't call me to come whoop them, because I'm not going to be the whoop-ass uncle, all right? Now, my nieces and nephews, I noticed that, and along with other kids in my family, small kids in my family, that some people in the family would often disrespect the kids just because they could and they were more powerful than the kids. They looked down on the kids, right? And just because they could. And I never disrespected my nieces and nephews. To this day, they hesitate to even cuss around me because they have so much respect for me. Whereas, some of my other people that are around my age, they don't too much care to watch what they say, and measure their words as much. But that's because I value human beings, not based on how their age or how much money they have, what their ethnicity is, all this type of stuff. I treat people like I want to be treated.
Yeah, man. That's that story about planning to die when you go to the club. Really, I was not ready for that. I was absolutely not ready for the punchline of that story. The only people who actually do that are like suicide bombers. They plan it all the way out. They said, okay, I'm going to put this bomb in my car. Mm-hmm. You're going to give my family this much money. I'm going to go ahead and make this video to explain why it is I'm doing this. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to go to heaven and get my virgins. Okay.
But you know what I think that they don't plan on sometimes is the pain they're going to leave behind in regards to their family members, the people that they love the most, the people that they say that I'm doing this for them. I'm doing this out of respect and regard for them. I don't think they plan for how those people, not the loss, but more so the embarrassment that doing something like that will cause to your people, because now for the rest of their lives, they're cursed with being your relative, and they have to answer for your misdeeds. People are going to be questioning them, and they got some of them have to change their names because people hear a certain name and it's like dun dun dun, like whoa, are you akin to such and such, So that's a lifelong burden that they leave on their loved ones when they commit those type of acts.